Is Donald Trump lying to us?
In the world of absolute loyalty, a crack has appeared. For years, they were the unshakable base, the deplorables, the MAGA faithful. They stood with him against every storm, but one secret, buried deep in sealed files, has become a line in the sand. This is the story of a promise broken and a movement in turmoil. This is the MAGA reckoning. The first tremors of dissent were felt not in the mainstream media, but in the heart of MAGA territory, on the airwaves of right-wing talk radio. The voices were not of political opponents, but of his most devoted followers, and they were angry. They felt betrayed.
Take a listen to how Trump's own voters are describing their own emotions right now on right-wing political call-in shows.
I feel really betrayed, and I feel really, really angry. We have a president who tells us to move on from Epstein because it doesn't matter. Are you guys still talking about this? Seriously? And yet he still talks about the 2020 election fraud. He talks about the Hunter Biden laptop. He talks about all this stuff from 5-6 years ago, and he tells us to move on from the Epstein trial or the Epstein case. People like me will not stop talking about this. I feel so betrayed and so angry. This is not what I voted for.
I'm concerned about being able to trust Donald Trump to keep his word. In his campaign, he said he was going to let us know all of the facts about this. And now he's saying, go away, don't pay attention to it.
These Epstein files, we were told that there was going to be released. There was his client list that was going to be released. And the fact that it's suddenly gone away and he's trying to gaslight us is like a punch in the gut to MAGA.
Their anger stems from a perceived cover-up, a dizzying reversal from the man who vowed to expose the swamp. The promise of transparency has been replaced by a wall of dismissal and what many are calling a blatant lie.
But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
U.S. President Donald Trump has labeled the Jeffrey Epstein files boring as accusations of a cover-up continue to mount.
He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't.
Trump Attorney General Pam Bondi teased a full release of the evidence, even at one point suggesting a client list was on her desk. But last week, an FBI and Department of Justice memo said no further disclosure would be appropriate or warranted.
Thousands of pages of documents have been given, but it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president.
Imagine how terrifying it would be to name names like that. These are some of the richest, most powerful people in the world that could sue.
I understand that we were subpoenaed to give files, and I understand we've given thousands of pages of files. And I know that no matter what you do, it's going to keep going. And I think it's enough, because I think we should talk about the greatness of our country and the success that we're having.
Is Donald Trump lying to us? He seems pretty supportive of the idea that there's no Jeff Epstein list, and it's been a long day, man. I just saw Pam Bondi lying through her teeth about how there's no list and the files weren't really files. They were just documents that were sitting on her desk, and how the 1-minute video from the jail cell that Jeff Epstein was held in, that 1-minute video that disappeared, they're doing an investigation. Dude, the party of common sense knows that something is up. Something's up. And they've kind of been leading it, hinting to it for the past couple of months. But it's okay to be MAGA. and not support everything your politicians say or do. And I'm not supporting this, man. I'm not supporting this idea. There's a list, and it needs to be revealed. And I'm praying that everyone on that list is accountable, and I don't care who it is.
The party that promised to defeat the deep state very quickly became the deep state. Here's the timeline in my eyes. Pam Bondi says, I have the list on my desk right here. They're rather silent for a few months. Then Elon Musk says Trump is in the Epstein list. Then within weeks, apparently the list is gone. I mean, I'm looking at this photo of Jack Posobiec holding up the Epstein files. It says the Epstein files, phase 1. But where's phase 2? There's no phase 2, so I'm happy that influencers like Jack are admitting they were conned by the admin to cover up the sexual abuse of children.
He actually helped Epstein be prosecuted. He was the only person who was involved, kicked him out of the Epstein. You know all this, like it's just a very
Have you heard of Alexander Acosta? You were duped to cover up sexual abuse of
Donald
children.
Trump was
you were
kicked him out
duped.
of his...
Alexander Acosta was a Florida district attorney. You could look this up. He knew both Trump and Epstein. He was appointed as a Secretary of Labor under Trump and had to resign in 2017 because people found out that he mishandled the Epstein case in 2007 and let Epstein get an illegal plea deal. Epstein was then able to go re-offend, and Trump appointed him in 2017. So I don't want to hear the dude that was brought to the White House to cover up sexual abuse saying that there was, I don't like, what are you trying to say here? Yeah.
You gotta wipe your face. Can you just wipe that little thing off your face there a little bit? You got a little,
right, hold on a
mud on your face.
You have no points.
Hold on a second.
No
Can I
points.
just-
As the base revolts, the pressure intensifies in Washington. A bipartisan effort in the House of Representatives is pushing the Epstein issue to a breaking point. And sources say the White House is in full-blown panic.
We have some huge breaking news tonight. There is mass chaos and panic within the White House over the Epstein files because we may actually get a vote on them. 218 signatures are needed in the House. They have 217. They're going to get 218 as soon as next week. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, according to the Wall Street Journal, made seemingly an admission saying he doesn't understand privately why people care about the Epstein because they don't understand what Palm Beach was like in the 90s. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that Susie Wiles literally put together a situation room kind of get together to try to triage the situation. Pam Bondi complained that the FBI was trying to sabotage her, undermine her, all while the House of Representatives in a bipartisan push is moving closer to getting the file. And Congress is getting calls right now from senior White House staffers, from senior White House officials lobbying them not to vote for this bill or this discharge petition. And there are a few Republicans that are getting a ton of heat from the White House: Nancy Mace, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massie, and others. But right now, mass chaos at the White House. They don't want the files coming out. The files are coming out whether or not they want it, so spread the word. Follow along for more.
So we have an update on the Epstein files. The Congress in the House now have enough votes to force the Department of Justice to release the full Epstein files completely unredacted. Now, this has sent the Trump administration and the White House into a frenzy. They are panic mode right now because they do not want this to come out because Donald Trump is supposedly mentioned hundreds of times in the Epstein files, as well as a lot of his cronies, even people that are in the White House administration right now, were very good friends and had very close ties to Jeffrey Epstein, and they don't want this coming out. The rich and the powerful are doing everything they can to stop this. Now, here's the question. Because of the special election in Arizona, the woman that's coming in has said that she's going to vote to have these released. That's the breaking point, right? They needed one more vote. So now the White House is calling everybody in Congress and issuing basically, I'm not going to say death threats, but the end of their career threats if they vote in favor of this. So now it is up to all of us to call your congressman, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, and demand that they release the Epstein files in full, unredacted, for everybody in America to see. Guys, I'm going to keep on this over at my Substack. I can't link it on this profile because my main profile got banned, and for some reason that's now affecting this profile and it won't let me put the link. But my Substack is Daily Rumble. So go to Substack, put in Daily Rumble, you will find it over there, and we're going to put the full list of all of the House members that have said that they were going to vote in favor of this, so that you can call them and make sure that they stick to their, morals and ethics and actually do this. So follow us over on Substack if you want to see that. Subscribe today.
Massey and Khanna, as I mentioned, they say they're poised to get all the signatures that they need, in part because Arizona elected a Democrat last night in a special election, a Democrat, Adelita Grijalva, who has committed to signing that petition after she is sworn in. So they say that they have the votes. But in this context, and Sky, we're just getting this in right now, so let me just explain what's happened. We are learning there is an intensifying effort by White House allies behind the scenes to pressure GOP lawmakers who have signed on to that petition to withdraw their name, to prevent a floor vote. And we are just learning this from our Hill team. Obviously, you know some of those Republicans. You met with them. Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nancy Mace, right? They have done this and bucked their own party. But we are learning about this intensifying effort going on right now to get Republicans to flip that vote. What do you say to this, Sky?
I'll address the first part, is that we are excited that, that we do have, as of right now, the votes. I don't see as to why it has to take somebody getting sworn in for us to push this forward. Representative Crank has that opportunity right now. Yep. In regards to the response to that, I would say, we had the opportunity to sit down with Representative Boebert's staffers. They were incredibly sensitive to the topic. They were very knowledgeable. We do feel confident that she will continue to back that. And quite frankly, I think we've said this all along, but this is not a party issue. This is a human issue. And I think we are very proud of Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, of Lauren Boebert, Massey, Nancy Mace. I think they're showing a lot of courage right now. We ask that we flip that script. I think we should ask more representatives to come forward and push this to a majority vote, not just a small majority, but a large majority, because if you don't, you are standing with pedophiles, period.
For a growing number of supporters, this is the ultimate betrayal. The issue is no longer about politics, it's about right and wrong. For them, protecting those named in the Epstein files is a line that can never be uncrossed. The MAGA movement is fracturing, and for some, there is no going back.
I'm seeing so many of posts like this right now, and I have a lot to say about it. So she wrote, "Protecting the pedophiles is something I stand against always." Don't get me wrong. I am so excited and so glad that some women and some MAGA supporters are finally waking the fuck up. But here's the thing that really pisses me off. Why didn't you believe women in the beginning? Why didn't you believe the many women that came forward and said this man had violated them? Why aren't we believing the women that have already stated this? Why aren't you believing the audio recording that you heard him say that he can grab women by the you-know-what whenever he wants? And then he doubled down when he was asked in court about this, that, he said that, you can do that because celebrities allow you to do that. Newsflash, you've never been allowed to do that. And how come it wasn't enough for you when you saw him make fun of special needs people, or you saw him or heard him say homophobic, racist comments? How come that wasn't the turning point for you? How come it wasn't the turning point for you when you saw people being grabbed off the street and sent to a horrible concentration camp? How come it took all of this for you to wake up? I guess I should just be happy that they're waking up, but I think it's so sad that there were so many signs that you ignored. So many signs, but I guess we have to take our wins where we find them. All my love.
I don't understand. I did nothing wrong to you. You know that I can't play, I can't run, I can't hang out with friends outside, I can't...
As a former conservative, I really need to explain something to you all. I've seen a lot of my fellow liberals saying, so the Epstein files are the line for MAGA? They don't care about women's rights, they don't care about the black community, they don't care about immigrants, they don't care, on and on and on. This is what it is? Well, yeah, it is. But it's not because they care about kids. Let's start there. is because their ultimate goal in life is to own the liberals. Shakes fist, right? And they all believe that the Epstein files are full of the libs. They're ultimate enemies and arch nemesis, and this way they can prove that all the hate, all the vitriol, everything they've had for these liberals, for these Democrats, is all justified because their kid, you know, right? Well, suddenly, Daddy, who campaigned on this, right? I mean, go back, watch the videos. It's everywhere, every rally, every stop. Listen, his interviews, he was going to release those files because Dirty Joe Biden won't do it, but I'll do it because they care about kids. Right, okay. So he's going to do that. Well, now he's in power, and he thinks, they're not going to remember that. I'm doing all kinds of incredible things, like cutting Medicaid and Medicare. Apparently MAGA likes that. I don't understand. Anyways, I'm doing all the things. They're not going to think about that. I'm their daddy. I'm their king. Right? But they do remember. And they especially were reminded of it when Elonia Muskrat and Daddy Dumpy Pants broke up. And Elonia said, Donald, darling, don't forget, you're in the files. Suddenly, pictures, interviews, all the things come up to show that Daddy was besties with Uncle Jeff. Just left that out, which, not that they couldn't have looked that up, but they're not going to. And honestly, in conservative circles, you're taught that anything that contradicts what you're being told is like demonic, evil, the work of the liberals. Right, so again, it's all about owning the libs and showing that they are the evil of the earth. Well, if he doesn't release these files, that unravels all their ideology. Because it either means, in their mind, that he's on the side of the liberals and he's trying to protect them, which is crazy to think, or what the liberals have been saying is true, and Daddy was besties with Uncle Jeff and did some really naughty things, and they're in those files. So yeah, they're not upset because they care about kids. I mean, they're cutting their SNAP benefits, their Medicare, all that. They don't care about kids, right? But they do care about owning the libs. And if he won't do that for them, well, the house divided will not stand. And they will send Daddy packing. And they'll go over to Elonia's house. I believe that Mommy might get them in the divorce with the new party that's being built, yes. Anyways, just thought I should open your eyes, Snats.
I'm saying this as a former Republican, former MAGA. If you're a Republican and you are MAGA, you need to leave the party now, okay? Because your party just became the party that protects PDF files. And that's not hyperbolic. Here is my proof. Speaker Johnson has sent the House home for August recess. It's July 22nd. There's still 9 days left in July. It's not August yet. Yes, August recess, it does happen every year in Congress, but we're still in July. We can still get a lot done. But he is sending them home so that the Democrats cannot force a vote on these Epstein amendments. Let me tell you something. If somebody is accusing me of doing something that I didn't do, especially as horrid as this, I would be the one to say, here is all the information I have. You look through everything and you will find that I have done nothing, okay? But the Trump administration has continually delayed these these Epstein files. And now Johnson is doing what he's doing, sending people home. They are protecting the PDF files. Even if you truly don't believe that Trump had anything to do with anything regarding Epstein, you're still protecting the PDF files. If you are protecting the PDF files, you are just as bad as the PDF files, in my opinion. And the two top Republicans in government, the president and the speaker, are both protecting PDF files, okay? And what's worse is they're protecting a dead one. My guess is they're not just protecting dead ones, they're protecting live ones too. But you know what I mean. Leave the party, okay? Go. You don't have to be a Democrat, go be an independent. But for God's sakes,
don't be affiliated with the people that protect the PDF files. I'm telling you, it's not a good look. And just a reminder that at every cult, there's not always pedophiles in every cult, but every cult always has people that protect pedophiles, okay? Don't be that type of person. Don't be affiliated with these type of people who protect PDF files. Just don't do it. Leave the party now, or get new leadership in your party, because the ones you have now are failing you. I mean, you had a chance to change the leadership in your party back in 2024, and you chose not to. So you got to live with this. But for now, I would not be affiliated with them.
Who is Donald Trump truly protecting? And for his most loyal followers, what is the price of that protection?